YouTubers, this is YouTube Prisoner 35784 reporting. The date is the 30th of October 2021, reporting from the UK. Now, what I'm showing you today is this set of images. This is Sol 3280, mast left and mast right. So different cameras on the same rover in Gale Crater, the Curiosity rover. And what we have is a statue, and I'm going to show you it straight away. Here it is. Okay, here's the statue. There's the raw image there, and here is the colorized and brightened up version of it there, right? And there's a brighter version of it down here. Now follow the links below in the description. There'll be a link to this and the original image. Here's the original image of just that, just here. Okay, there he is, just there next to this weird rock here. And it seems fairly close to the rover, but the rover's probably zoomed the camera in. So I don't know what the exact effective zoom range or the zoom level is, so I can't tell you how big it is. But it's pretty big. It's bigger than a human head. And I would say this is pretty large. You've got this kind of ridge here, and it seems to be fairly close. Judging by the level of detail in this image here, it seems to be fairly close to the rover, I would say. I would say it's probably at less than 30 feet away. But it's impossible to say because the camera has probably zoomed, and it may be 100 feet away and zoomed in sort of 70 feet or 80 feet towards it. Who knows? But here it is. Now you can see by the shape of it, even in the raw image here, that this is something interesting, because you can see, even without brightening this or doing anything to it, this is completely raw, by the way. This has not been enhanced in any way. You can see the nose here, the mouth, lip, chin, the eye you can just about make out, and you can actually make out some details here in the helmet. So this is a statue of a warrior wearing a helmet. I'll show you the brighter one down here. This is the brighter one. You can actually see it a bit better. Here we are. And you can see the nose quite clearly. You've got nostril detail, mouth detail, and good lip detail, actually. You can see the lips there quite well. I'll show you with the hover zoom magnifier, just here. Good lip detail, upper lip, lower lip sticking out. There's a highlight on the lower lip there. We got nose coming round, nostril there. The nose, I think, is a bit broken. This probably would have come out a bit more, just to here. So that looks like it's been a bit broken, maybe. And then we have eye detail in here. And you can actually see that there's a nose guard coming down and then coming to the side here. This is a cheek plate, which then joins up to the top of the helmet design here. So we've got the helmet up here. And it comes round to the back here. It's back of the head here. And the cheek plate comes, or cheek guard, comes down to here, right down here. You can see almost the perfect rectangular kind of or corner there as it comes down. So we've got the mouth is exposed, the eye is exposed, and we have a hole here. This may be damaged, but what this may have been was a hole for the ear. So there would have been an ear in here, and there is some detail in there, which looks a bit like an ear, just there, which may be an ear. So whether this is damaged, this bit here, I don't know. Or maybe that was the actual design. Maybe the helmet had that kind of cheek guard with a sort of cheek plate here. So we got nose guard, nose, mouth, lip detail, chin. There's the eye. And the helmet comes up. Unfortunately, it's right on the edge of the image, but there is a smaller version of this pan just here. Now this is taken by the Mass 100 camera, which is it takes much lower res images, but they're wider, and because I think it's slightly higher up, we can see above the statue just here, but there's hardly any detail in it because it's a lower res camera, and it's not as good. But what we can do is see over the object, so we can see the entire shape of the thing here. Okay, and you can still make out that nose and the mouth and the chin, but it's very unclear because there's not a lot of detail. The actual normal image up here, which I think is a 34 or 35 millimeter lens, so a lot of detail in here because it's fairly close, or the camera zoomed in quite a long way. So we've got good detail, and there's loads of interesting fragments around this thing. Some of it looks like concrete that's broken up. There may also be other statues here, but we're not seeing them at the right angle. There's something weird in this one, just here. There's a weird thing here, and a weird sort of bunch of rocks with something piled on top, like a skull or a head or something on top of this one here, but it's looking away from us, so we can't really see what it is. But this looks to me like a head or a helmet or possibly something interesting, but we need to see that from another angle, which we may do in coming weeks. Not only have they been found in this area, in Gale Crater, I've shown many in this area, but I've also shown them in Jezero Crater by the Perseverance rover. Okay, so there it is. It looks like a warrior. It may not be. This may be just some kind of ceremonial headdress, but to me, this looks like a warrior. We've even got here a sort of floret kind of design in the helmet here. Now you can actually see, if you look carefully, here you've got lip detail. There's the upper lip, and here is the lower lip. Okay, and we've got the actual nostril is here. Now I would imagine this may have come out further, this nose. It may have come out to here. Okay, and this may have chipped off, I don't know. But basically, we seem to have a nose guard that comes round, like this, and joins to the cheek plate here, which comes down to here. Alright? The eye part of the helmet is here. Or, let's do that bit again. It seems to come to here, and the cheek guard joins to this bit. Okay? So there's the eye in there. You can see an eye just there. Right? It's a bit vague, but it's there. What I'll do in a minute, I'll add more contrast to this, and I'll drag it out for you. Okay? And then we have this sort of design here, what I'm calling a floret design. This was common on helmets, ancient helmets. They would have floret or floral kind of patterns on the side of their helmets. Quite often they would be engraved with ornate sort of patterns and heraldic designs, that kind of thing. And like we have on Earth, this looks to be damaged here, the cheek plate. And I think in here, there seems to be some ear detail. So basically you can see, so I remove that, you can actually see what I pointed out, okay? You can see the nose here. You can see the mouth very clearly. That's the most prominent feature because the shadow's got it really well. And you can see there's an eye in there. And you can actually see some eye detail. There's the actual eye. And there's eyebrow detail here, right? Lower lid detail there, okay? And this one's obscure because it's at an angle. There's the nostril, as I showed before, and the nose guard comes round like this and joins to the cheek plate like this, okay? And there seems to be some sort of join here, right? And here. Interesting. This is a warrior. It has to be a warrior. Why would you wear a helmet like this unless you were some kind of warrior? Now, this may be damaged here. It looks like a bit's fallen off. There's a sort of weird line down here, but there is some ear detail in there, just there, with what looks like some inner ear detail, just there. Right, and then like I said before, we got this kind of design in the helmet itself, like a floret. Okay, and then the cheek guard there, obviously, and there's some rough detail there. Now this is obviously damaged. It's not quite a full face helmet because the chin and mouth is and the lower part of the nose is not covered. So it doesn't cover the entire face, like a motorbike helmet does with the lid down. Very interesting. This is insane. Absolutely insane. Now what I'm going to do is add some contrast to this and see if we can drag out more of that detail. Right? Because this is only a basic enhancement. I don't use a lot of enhancement stuff. I just use brightness and contrast and a bit sharp. I sharpen things a little bit as well sometimes. So I haven't pushed it very hard. Now if I push it a bit harder, we might see a bit more. Let's go darker. And you can really see now those shapes. Now let's go brighter. Let's go plus 15. I'll do that again. Now you're starting to see these shapes more, okay? Let's go to one more. There we are. So you can see that is quite prominent, this eye. You can actually see eye detail in there, just there. Right? And you can really see that cheek plate sticking out, and you can now see that floret kind of design up here more as well. Alright? Like a clover leaf or something. Really interesting. And then the cheek guard here. And the note joins to the nose guard there. Right? You can see all that in the raw image, see that? It's broken up a bit because I've pushed it really hard, but you can see those details there. Right? Absolutely insane. And then obviously the cheek guard comes down like that. We've got the nostril and the mouth, lower lip. Very interesting, this helmet design. Really, I mean, this is one of the best so far. Okay, so I'll put clips of this in, and I'll do some different levels of enhancement. I'll save this, and I'll show different versions of this. So I've got brighter and darker. Okay, so you'll be able to see it in different detail. But that looks pretty cool to me. Fairly indisputable, I would say. Mainly because of the eye, nose and mouth detail, and the fact that the lip, there's some quite fine lip detail here, like on some of the others I've shown. Right, I'm just going to show you now. I'm going to flick through some of the ones I've got here to compare it to. But I will put all of these in again at the end, in a sort of playlist, well not a playlist, in a sort of animated sequence at the end of the video, in the last 2 minutes. And you can freeze frame these when you like, and if you want to, you can download them or take screenshots or whatever. A lot of you would have seen some of these already, but some of these go back for many years. I've been finding similar things on Mars now, in this area, especially in Gale Crater, since the rover landed. And I first started showing them in early 2013, okay? So it's quite a few years now. And but some of these are recent. This one's here. I'm going to talk you through some of these. This one is in Jezero Crater, near the Perseverance rover, Sol 201, very recent, but a long way off. Very large. This is about 2 feet high, maybe 3. It's around 2 feet, about the same size. But you can see the helmet there with a cheek guard coming there around that side. Very prominent nostrils and 2 eyes. You've got a nose guard there as well, and a helmet coming up with a bit of detail on it. But a long way off, that one. This one isn't a helmet. This is a crown. Okay. At least I think it is. I could be wrong. Now this one I called the Mars Prince. Okay, and you can see, if you don't get too close to these, that they look better if you don't go full screen. Okay, and you can see with this one, looks like bronze. It's very metallic looking and shiny. Okay, but this looks more like a crown here. And quite fine eye detail and mouth detail here with teeth. This is fairly small, 8 inches, 5 to 8 inches, no bigger than that. The Mars battle helmet, this is just sitting on a rock in an area where there seems to be an exposed burial here. So often these things were buried with the warrior types, I think, on the surface of Mars, and a lot of the burials are eroded. And occasionally we get very lucky, like I was with this one, and find a full helmet just sitting on a rock, surrounded by what look like burial artifacts in this area. This is also Gale Crater, not far from where we are today. And not the same as this Greek helmet here, but similar. It's got a very similar shine to it, which looks like bronze. Okay. This one is one I found years ago also here, with the same floret. If you look carefully, we've got this design here. This is the cheek guard coming down here. This is the face. It's not very clear, this one. You've got two eyes, mummified features. This isn't a statue, this is an actual head. The helmet comes up and round like this at the back, almost like a Roman helmet in design and shape. And we have a floret design here where the cheek guard joins the top of the helmet here. Just here. You can just about make it out. It helps if you go smaller with this one, because it's not in good detail. But you can see that design there. The same design as we got in this one today. This one looks more like a pilot. So I call him the Stone Temple Pilot, with a heavily eroded, what seems to be a melted helmet. It looks kind of melted and vitrified, with breathing gear going into the face here, or nose, just here. Okay, very strange, that one. The pitting on it is absolutely insane. So whatever this was made of, or is made of, is heavily pitted and melted, it looks like. Very interesting. Okay, and you can see the eyes even in the raw clip here. The two eyes and the nose. You can even see nostrils there. Right? There's this famous one that went viral years ago, a few years back, 2018. Okay, this is small. This is only about 4 inches, maybe 3. This is part of a figurine, and seems to be wearing some kind of helmet here as well. Okay. This is a very strange one, found a few years ago. Curiosity rover, Gale Crater, not far from here, less than a mile away. Okay, totally different, heavily, really poor quality image. This, I cleaned it up, but it's very bad quality image. But you can see what it is. Very strange. This one, very strange shape, and some very strange colour and detail around the mouth here. Very ugly. Okay, and there's this composite of 3 that I found. These are all in Gale Crater, not far from here, only about a mile or 2 away. All of these are in the similar area. This is a very good example of a full helmet, but more modern, like a modern warrior rather than a ancient Greek or Romanesque style warrior. Okay, modern. And this one with breathing apparatus around its nose, as this one has here. This one here has got a very angular sort of helmet, which is broken here. And this is the mouth. You can see that there's this object here stuck on the nose, just here, with parts coming off of it here. That's breathing gear. So they were on the surface after the cataclysm, which largely destroyed the atmosphere, and the oxygen levels dropped dramatically. So they were active on the surface after that, otherwise they wouldn't be wearing breathing gear unless they came from another planet and couldn't breathe the atmosphere on Mars. Okay, and here's another one with a pipe coming out of its nose here. To see that pipe? Very interesting. And there's another one with a helmet. You can see the cheek guard coming down here. Exposed nose and mouth. Very different from this one. This is a different shape. Okay, this is Curiosity rover as well, Gale Crater. These are all in Gale Crater. This is a very small little one here of a childlike head, or part of a figurine, but with a very strange looking hat or helmet here. There's that one again. So I did a video called Mars Terracotta Army, and I do think the area was a bit like that. There were lots of these buried in stood or sitting positions. Okay, but we're only seeing the top. And a lot of them broken off, the heads are broken off. Okay, there's that one again, the trooper. Astonishing, absolutely astonishing detail. Even in the raw clip there, with no colour added, this has had added colour obviously. You can see what it is. Incredible. So this is a really old one and not very well enhanced, but this is also in Gale Crater. This is around Sol 50, I think, this one. So really early on, one of the first ones I found. And it's even got what seems to be a crest on the top with sort of hair coming off it or something. But a crude image, and I wasn't very good with these images then, and I've learned a lot since, because they're quite hard to work with, because they're quite low res, and a lot of them are downgraded as well, and they've got lots of distortion in here. So you've got to blur that a bit to get rid of it. Very recent one here, just on an exposed burial by the seams of it, but I'm not sure if this is wearing a helmet. This one seems to have hair, light coloured hair, blondish, I would say. Imagine that. And this is a cool one. A helmet, a full helmet. Okay. See the eyes there, mouth part, and the sort of big cheek guard coming right back like this. Interesting, very interesting. This is a very recent one. This one is in Jezero Crater, and it's very similar to the one we got today also, and is wearing a helmet. You can see the eye there. There's the nose. Fine lip detail like the one today. It's there. Very fine lip detail. And seems to be wearing some kind of helmet or some kind of mask or something, with a cheek guard coming down to here. Right? So this is a common feature with these. And there are loads of them. And helmets do seem to be the thing on Mars. And this, I think, is a figurine stood behind this rock, and also wearing a helmet. But this is quite a long way off, and it isn't very big. This is only about a foot tall or less. What would you call that? A neck guard on the back. This was found by Jose Lorca back in 2013, years ago. This is a recent one from Perseverance. This seems to be a warrior, not a human, with a helmet, and some kind of detail coming off the helmet here, which looks like a crest of like a plaited crest coming down here, that, and a shield here. This looks like a shield. So he's wearing an armoured helmet. I'd say he, I don't know. This looks more reptilian, this one. And looks to be holding a shield just here. Buried up to the waist, or up to the chest at least. Just here. So this is really big. This is also about 3 feet or maybe more. This exposed part is 3 or 4 feet or something like that. So this is a large statue, okay? And this proves that not all of them are just heads. Some of them have bodies as well, okay? Now this one's very interesting. This is an actual complete burial here of a warrior wearing a helmet. Very strange, this one. And is lying in the back of this area here, which is underneath a big sort of rocky overhang, with a strange thing here which looks like a bird, right? But this warrior here, you've got a body. Let's go full screen. We've got a head here, which you can see the close-up of there. Not very clear. This was in shadow, so I had to brighten the hell out of this to get to see it. But you've got a helmet here. Very strange, alien-looking. You've got an arm. This is the other arm here, and the body here is split in half here. So the top part of the shoulders are kind of split away from the body here, right? It's a burial. So it's tucked in under this rock, next to this weird thing here. Now, there are Gigapans for all these, okay? So if you want to check my links below, go to my main Gigapan link below in the description, and you can check all these out. I put all of these up on my Gigapan site to check out. So there were burials and all sorts, and buildings with warriors, carved warriors outside or on top of the buildings, in front of the buildings, on plinths, possibly on pillars as well. And the area we're looking at today specifically is in what I call the Royal Mile. And as I've shown before, in this Royal Mile, there are statues everywhere, and some of them are massive. Okay, I'm going to show you the largest couple now. And all the largest statues and carvings and structures and everything are in this area. And this strip of land here is part of the Royal Mile between the Forbidden City and the other end, where we have the Ares statue and also the Emperor statue. So we're learning about Martian armor, as well as art and culture all in one go. That's the beauty of statues. You can learn a lot more in some ways from statuary than you can from just looking at a ruin of a building with a few stone blocks sometimes, because this tells you about the actual culture and design and technology as well as just architectural style. Okay, interesting. So thanks for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Please give the thumbs up and leave a comment if you can. My videos don't do very well unless they get over sort of 100 comments and over 200 likes, so please give the thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Clips coming up now.